So, all right. Well, yeah. So that is in the 12th, out the 18th. That is the plan.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting in on the 13th, and I will probably stay through and leave on Friday.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So we'll have to figure out what to do and when to play. I will probably be playing Labatai early in the week and
Okay.
then wrapping up so that maybe I hopefully will have, from what I heard, the that new Sound of the Drums ALOW game should be arriving sometime here in
Yeah. In
April.
fact, I think it's supposed to dock any day now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So it's supposed to be coming in, landing in the United States sometime here before the end of March, which means then
Right.
that I'll get my happy hands on it sometime in April when it arrives on my doorstep. So yeah, so then we could plan on playing that. So we'll just have to see what's up with everybody else. But I've got at least
Yeah.
four players confirmed for Dresden, and then we'll see who else wants to play what other sort of games. And
Okay.
David, then I'll send out an email to you. I'll include you in the Labatai email, Michael. Even though I know you probably don't want to play Labatai, but at least
Yeah.
you can see what's going on.
All good. All good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
had, on a slight change of subjects, I had something that showed up out of the clear blue nowhere. You know how long it takes to develop and design and develop a war game.
yes,
And I'd never heard of this one until just stumbled across it, probably on my Facebook news feed or something like that. It's called the 7 Years War Battle System.
yeah. I saw something on Facebook maybe a few days ago.
Yeah,
And then I just got an invite to join their page.
right.
So it
And
looks like a kinder, more gentler version of this, perhaps.
I wonder. I wonder. Yeah, I'm so intrigued. I was just like, darn it, I'll just order them. Particularly since it's two battles that Barr hasn't covered. So it's like, well, that'd be great, right? Minden, which I don't know anything about, and Torgau, which I've at least played in another system,
Right.
so I kind of at least have the general idea of it. But I was just like, wow, what a time to be a gamer. There's just and I think the thing has been gestating for 10 years plus. So
Yeah. Well, so we'll
anyway,
just have to see what it is. I went to their website and all they had available were the games in French.
that's so weird. Other people have said that too, and I had no trouble ordering it in English.
Oh, okay.
When
Maybe I
when
had
I
just followed a different link where it didn't ask me
yeah
where I was necessarily.
yeah
But when I looked at the order page, it said such and such game, and then it said in French.
right.
So,
No, there were four icons on the page that I was looking at. And the first
okay.
two were the two games in French, and the next two were the same two games in English. And I was like, oh, okay, click on that, and away we go.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, just I think what's so exciting about it is 7 Years' War is not nearly as popular as Napoleonics, which is fine. I don't have a
Right.
problem with that. But then just to kind of not be sitting around waiting for years for something to show up, but to have it like imminent the first time you hear of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was fun. So
Yeah, so that should be interesting to see what all they've got. So,
exactly, exactly. So that'll be fun. And I've got another seven. No, is this maybe? I'm gonna have to go look. Maybe it's War of Austrian Succession. I've got a game over there on my shelf that I've never gotten out. Piacenza. I think it's from the 1740s, so it's probably War of Austrian Succession. Obviously in the north of Italy. Know
right.
nothing about the battle, but I just love the idea that there's just multiple different views of what these things could have looked like. That's fun.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Whoa, what else do we know? What else do we know?
yeah, so I didn't see when you looked at it, did it seem to indicate what the scale was?
Let me see. Let me see. Where was it? right there. Um, I think it was 200 yards per the hex,
Okay.
if memory serves. I'm pretty sure it was.
So it might be more regimental scale than battalion level?
I'm guessing it would have to be,
Okay.
yeah. So let's just take a quick
And
look.
it said that the rules were only 16 pages. So that's why I thought, okay, it's got to be a kinder, gentler
Right.
version
Yeah. Yeah, they
than
say they're
bar.
5/8 inch counters.
Oh, okay.
So they're big counters, 200 to 220 meters per hex. So that's almost, I mean, that could be as much as 240 yards. 30-minute time. Counters equal a brigade, a battalion, 1 to 3 squadrons, or a battery. Strength point is 100 men. So the strength points are just going to be higher than what we're used to, I guess,
Right.
because obviously if we're doubling the frontage, um, we're going to have bigger numbers there. But
Right.
yeah, so anyway, just kind of fun.
Well, cool. Well, when it
Um,
gets in, let us know what it looks like and
yeah,
what your
yeah,
opinion is.
yeah. They just said they had a little hiccup in the production, so they were going to be somewhat delayed on the first game. But whatever. I, I've got so many on my shelf of shame now that what's one or two more, right? I almost failed my personal morale check on my Battle of Luthen that I got on the solo table because
How is that?
I got 1 hour of battle left.
Okay.
Like I guess it's the 8 o'clock hour because the game ends at the end of the 8:40 turn, which is really kind of mind-boggling because I mean that means there's hours of nighttime turns.
Right.
Not just a little like in other games where it's like you'll get a couple of night turns and that's the end of it. It's like, I mean, I can't even imagine. I guess because the battle had already been engaged, that it was going to keep going even after night fell, I guess. But both sides are getting really lucky on their army morale rolls.
Right.
The Austrians doubly so because most of the army morale rolls have been special results and they've rolled zero twice.
Oh, my goodness.
So literally, this special event that's happening right now in the 7:40 hour um, is the first time that the Austrians actually have a positive modifier.
Interesting.
They're up to +5 now, and they're rolling on the right hand column, but they were at a 0 until just now.
Yeah, that's what you'd said in, I guess, one of your posts, which I thought was
Yeah,
interesting.
and the Prussians are at +10 now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, the Prussians are so much better that +10 doesn't hurt them as bad as it would the other guys. But still, um, it's really fascinating that both armies are getting shredded. They're both on the far right column, which, I mean, you're torn up by that point, right? And the
Right.
only thing I can assume is that no one's morale is broken because they don't know how bad the army's getting ripped up. That's the only thing I can think, right? Because both sides are just still going hammer and tongs at each other. The the Austrian left flank is starting to collapse.
Mm.
And so they're having to redeploy a little bit to try to form up a new left flank. And the truth is, even though the Prussians are better, I mean, you still take casualties.
Right.
There's been a goodly number of special results in close combats, and that's usually a pretty bad trade for the guy with the better troops. It's like, okay, you lose two of your lousy increments, I lose two really good ones.
Right.
Not so great. So anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and plunge through the next hour because I mean it's probably going to be a tie for the same reason it was a tie
At
at
Prague.
at Prague for us, just because no one's going to get to a high enough number to chase the other guy off the field. And I guess this won't be remembered as some great victory. It'll just be remembered as a Zorndorf kind of bloodbath, and both sides will slink off the battlefield afterwards.
So what ended up, by the way, did you guys have any sort of decision with your game that you guys played in person with Prague.
That's really funny you'd say that because no, we didn't get far enough to get to a decision. Um, we told ourselves that we were going to start playing every Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
And I said, well, I mean, after just playing for the whole long weekend, I said, yeah, but I'm not going to come back tomorrow night. I was like, oh yeah, understood. And then the next Tuesday, I totally forgot. Albert showed up at John's house and there's nobody there. And so Albert's like, what was that all about? And then John said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we were out of town. I totally forgot. My bad." You know, and I'm like, "Well, I can hardly complain. I forgot too."
Right, right,
And then the following Tuesday, I had very unusually work customers to take out to dinner,
right.
and I was going to have to call them and cancel, and then John had to cancel.
Ah.
So anyway, bottom line is we have not yet played since
the long
President's Day
weekend.
weekend.
Okay.
Exactly. And so we have basically nothing more than we had before, which was, you know, we're going to see when the Cavalry Battle Royale gets joined. I think that's going to be what determines the day.
Very cool.
Good
Very cool.
times. Good times. I'm trying to figure out why my keyboard is not connecting to my laptop. It's going to make me so much happier if it does. Strangely, the mouse did, but not the keyboard.
Hmm.
Come on.
Well, you don't need a keyboard. You don't need a mouse. I'll move your units for you, Michael.
You're such a giver.
I am. That's what I've been told.
Okay. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it's just not going to work. So, all right, I'll just use the keyboard on the laptop itself. That's fine. I can go anywhere in the world and be treated like dirt. I'm going to have to take it from you. Oh, yeah. All right. So how are things here at the train wreck that is Kolin?
Things are just fine and dandy. It's a train wreck
that's why
everywhere you look.
Train wreck.
Yeah. So
that's
it's a matter of who can steer the wreckage onto the other person's rail line and cause a disaster. It's
wow, that's quite an odd description for 1758.
Well,
the year this is.
Yeah, we're just about a century away from when that was a big form of entertainment.
They would train wrecks?
Yeah, they would run locomotives at each other, and the engineers would jump out.
That's true.
Yeah, in fact, there was some guy who organized one in Texas, and he had the stands full of people, and I guess then, I mean, you know, it blew up, and it was sent shrapnel into the crowds, and it was, you know, a true train wreck all the way around.
In all the worst
in
ways,
all the worst possible ways, with bystanders being slain or maimed and all the rest. So,
it's like,
but
why,
you know,
why do people go to car races for see the crashes? Right?
Yeah, pretty much, same thing. So,
good times. All right. Well then, let's see what else we got. I need to get more things opened here. We're at the top of the 420 turn?
Yep, it's the 420 turn. So last time we played, we had finished the 4 o'clock turn. So we're at 420, and I think
420
with this particular scenario, what are we playing until? I don't know if I've got
until we just give the hell up.
Oh, until 9 o'clock, or we give the hell up, whichever comes first.
Right, exactly. Well, we'll see how that goes. And history recreating itself here, so we'll see.
Well, we'll have to see if I can pull off some semblance of a stalemate, which would be a first here for the Austrians.
Well, that's good. That's why we play.
Right? Yeah. We have to see. So, well, as is usually the case, you get to throw the dice first. You guys will have a +2 for for
Yep.
Frederick feeling much better about himself than he did
Yeah,
last turn.
suddenly remembering why he was here.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
His
gratifying. Yeah.
his hat had blown off, and he spent 20 minutes
Mm.
trying to find it.
Indeed,
So yeah,
indeed.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, he can't be seen bareheaded. That's
All right, so
never going to work.
right off the bat, 88. So
Oh,
that's going to be one for you, and that
okay. That is
pushes the turn forward.
turn
Yeah.
pushed forward, and now we come to the inevitable problem that we have if we haven't played for several weeks, and that is, oh damn, we're first.
Well, I can help that because you can pass it to me, right?
Oh, I
You
could,
could.
and I'm so not going to.
Oh.
Hmm.
I mean, I know exactly what I need to do.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
marvelous. Well, now we
Yeah.
just need to figure out what that is and stop you from it.
Yeah.
That's
Just go ahead and give it to me first, and then you'll
well,
see. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
It's
think
like a
that's gonna
Mexican
work, but
standoff here.
yeah, it sure is. All right, well, let's see. Gosh, it seems like we got all this excitement going on the east. It really probably makes more sense for David to take this, don't you think? There's nothing
Yeah.
that pressing in the middle. Surely, there's not. Yes,
So
there is, and stop calling me Shirley.
There you go. I was wondering when that quote was going to come
It
flying out.
wasn't going to take long.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
not going to take long. Yeah.
all right. Well, what can I do?
Bonsai?
Bonsai.
I mean, both can know, right? Just,
We have a special, you've got your special bonsai squad over here somewhere, and your long lance
think so.
torpedoes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. One of those long lance torpedoes will mess you up.
That would certainly see
Never
those
seen it
guys
coming.
pushing it up the hill.
Oh no, it's churning along under the surface. So it looks like an
Oh.
enormous gopher.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. But a gopher with a bit of a punch.
Indeed, quite a bit of a punch.
Yeah.
So, all
I
right.
don't remember what the size the warhead was on that thing, but it was enough to ruin somebody's day.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd just crush his cavalry, but that's just me.
Well, I'm not quite sure the best way to go about and do that, but I mean,
I don't know, charge him. I don't know. I mean, this is the advantage of having much better troops than his. You can just charge them. What are you gonna do? They're probably gonna be shaken and run away. It's all good.
Yep. They're all pretty horrible anyway. So,
Well, let's see what I can work out here.
There you go. That's a
that's
spirit.
First, let's see what we can undisorder here. But well,
so. Who are you
yeah, that'll be
taking?
helpful.
it would be Zeton.
Well, Zeton's the wing leader, so you're talking
I
about
mean, it'd be,
Cat,
Kata.
right?
got where is
I think Kata's right there.
yeah, okay, yeah. I was seeing ZIE on him, and I think, oh, that's
Right.
oh, that's Kata, but
Oh,
okay.
by the way, did I mention Zeton got whacked in my game?
Oh no!
That's just one of those things. Special result comes up, and you're like, "Oh boy, here we go." I mean, oh,
All right. Well, let's see if we
That's
can
gonna leave a mark.
undisorder this one.
Well,
that's
don't.
15 victory points, or not victory points, but 15 loss points
Wow.
for Zeton. That's like,
All right, throw your dice, Dave.
oh yeah,
They are definitely
easy
undisordered.
peasy, easy peasy. And these other guys are going to be at plus 15 for being in an enemy zone of control.
See what they're gonna do. That's not.
I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to stay
They're-
disordered.
They're good, but they're not that good.
Nope.
So they
All
decide.
right.
So what does that mean?
Well,
All right.
just means that you're going to have to do it with one hand tied behind your back. It's no problem.
Hmm. Can we have a brief little conference?
By all
Oh my
means,
gosh,
by
here
all
we go.
means, let's adjourn to the tent.
All right, now
Church.
I've got a riff here for while you guys are away.
All right, very good. Best of
Uh,
luck.
Yep. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're joining us here at the Battle of Kolin, 1757. This particular battle followed the Battle of Prague. A relief force under General Dawn was sent to by the Austrian High Command, if we can use such a phrase for the Austrians at that time, to relieve the siege of Prague. And Frederick der Grosse marched out with a force to meet them, and they met here at Kolin. And we're at the 420 turn, and I think this particular scenario started with the 140 turn. So we've gotten about 3 game hours in so far, approximately. And what the Prussian particular how would you say their strategy was to come out around the Austrians' right flank and to turn it. And so the Austrians then had to race as fast as they could to try to get over into some position over here where these hills are, to try to set up a defensive position to prevent getting basically turned by the Prussians. And so that's what I've been doing. And meanwhile, my poor cavalry over here has been just taking it on the chin. The Prussian cavalry is, to say that it's fantastic would be a tremendous understatement. It's head and shoulders better than what the Austrians have. And so the best the Austrians can do is just kind of absorb the punishment and slow down the Prussians for as long as they can until I can get some stuff over here to reinforce that side of the map and prevent the Prussians from making a big to-do out there. So that's kind of what's going on here with the game so far. And so far, I've been sending most of my reinforcements off to that side. And then if we look to see what the Prussians are doing, they're kind of doing a movement as well, where it looks like they're trying to get a lot of their forces are kind of side-slipping over towards Kreshkor, over this little town over here. And I think they're going to try to make their main attack here in the center. They've got a bunch of cavalry, and they got a fair amount of infantry kind of piled up over there too. But I've got a decent defensive position so far. So we'll kind of see how all of that sorts itself out in one way, shape, or form. Most of my cavalry in the center had already gotten chewed up, but they were there just to buy time for me to get the infantry line set up. And so far, I have managed to achieve that. And so then we will just wait and see where I still have, a reserve. So I'm in fair shape here for dealing with and hopefully meeting whatever the Prussians might throw at me. So my hope is to hold out over here until I can get some more reinforcements towards that oak wood, and then do what I can once they decide to launch their main assault see how I stand up. So that's kind of what's going on right now. And we'll just wait and see what happens. If anybody's out there in YouTube land and you have any questions, the chat should be on. You should be able to post questions, comments, send me salutations saying, "Hey, Eric, I'm watching you from whatever part of the universe you might happen to be living in." And at least while my colleagues are chatting to see what the heck they are going to do, I can converse with you out in the YouTube universe in the meantime. So feel free to write comments, and I will do my best to read them and respond accordingly. This particular game was published by Clash of Arms back in the, I want to say probably early 1990s. This was the first one in the Battle of Age of Reason series. And there have been quite a few since then. And there are still more that are in the works. From what I've heard, there's one in development right now, which is going to be from this time period, but it's the Battle of Quebec. So it's the French and the British there at the Plains of Abraham. And so that will be an interesting one. And that, I guess, is in development and will probably be out here, hopefully, sometime here in the next year or so. And then I know I'd heard when I was at the La Bataille Fest last week in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, there was someone talking about a American War of Independence battle that they were working on. This was one of the ones, I think, down in the Carolinas. So I don't know if it was a Battle of Cowpens or one of those other battles down there that they were going to be, trying out and working on. So that might be under development as well. So lots of different possibilities out there for games coming up. So stay tuned for those exciting options. And let's see. I don't know that there's anything else per se that I can chat about. So I appreciate anybody who's watching or if you've all bugged out while we wait for other folks to come back. Yeah. Here with the Austrians, we've got Veid's command over here, which is a mixed force of infantry and cavalry. And so we've got them set up out here. And then we've got Sincere's little group here. That's sort of my reserve right now. I've got my skirmishers running madly across the board. So they're going to try to do something clever and maybe something helpful. So we'll see how that works. And that's about it. I've got heavy cavalry and some light cavalry out here. My skirmishers, so I'm pretty secure on that side of the map. And then we'll just have to wait and see what the Prussians decide to do. And I still have more reinforcements coming here to the center where Puebla is. So they'll take a little while to get there since they're out of command. And then I've got some of, I guess those are Veid's people. And those guys are Puebla. And those guys are Weeds. Yeah. So we got people kind of chugging along here. So, yep. So we'll see what all the Prussians have in store. As far as my plan is, I'm on the defense. I've got a pretty good setup here for my defense so far. So at least I've hopefully have the opportunity to to stick around for a little bit, hold out here for a little bit, buy some time for my units to make it over and get into position to slow down or stymie the Prussian advance. So that's kind of what's up. And let's see what else we got cooking. I've got some heavy cavalry here in the center. I'm going to try to pull those guys back so that way I can use them later for plugging any gaps in the line. And then yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll turn them that way. Yep. Okay. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what things look like here. So we'll start over on the right side of the Prussian line. They've got some heavy cavalry. It looks like they're starting to move that. They've got some infantry. They're starting to move as well. They've got a fair amount of infantry here in the center. These grenadiers and their regular line infantry. They've got lots of heavy cavalry. I'd say that they probably have more cavalry than I do, and certainly it's better quality. They did have this group of infantry over here at Kreshkor, which, while they captured the village, they did suffer a fair amount in the process. So some of these units are pretty badly smashed up. Some have only got a few increments left. So he doesn't really have any that are entirely fresh over here as far as the infantry goes. And then the other infantry that he's got over here is now getting into a point where they're going to start coming under fire from the Austrians. And so we'll start to see kind of what happens with that. He does have some good, he's got more 12-pounders than I do. But altogether, my artillery has a better fire. And I think that's how, from the game design, when this was designed back in the 90s, they gave the Austrian artillery a higher fire value because, for the most part, the Austrians had positioned themselves up on higher ground. The way that they did that now when they published Prague, which actually is the battle that precedes this one, is, from a game design point of view, the fire values are what you would call standard, but then they gave a die roll modifier for being up on a higher elevation or a higher position. So it's two different ways of looking at it. But if you're looking at just the charts, you know, the Austrian 12-pounders have a lot more oomph to them than the Prussians. And so I don't know if that's necessarily historically true, or it's just the case that the this, from a game design point of view, they did this with not only the 12-pounders, but also with the 6-pounders to favor the Austrians being here in this higher position. So I'm not sure that the Austrian gunners were that much better. I'm not that familiar with this time period altogether to know what that is, but it's very interesting to see. If we were looking at, for example, oh, you guys back?
We're back.
Oh, thank God.
This is just, how many times did I say that only electrons die today?
And yet David is
Go
worried
for
about his electrons being slightly
David is worried
inconvenienced.
about his electrons.
David.
And I will say, I have played against David many times, and he is a meticulous and opportunistic cavalry commander. But I think he's just kind of in a little bit of analysis paralysis, and I just
Ah,
encouraged him to go to the wall.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we have a saying. We have a saying in saber fencing.
do you?
If yeah, we do. If you're not attacking, you're not winning.
Okay,
Yeah,
well there you
yeah.
go.
So all these guys are armed with sabers. So if you're not attacking, you're not winning.
Exactly. Well done, you. Yes, that is exactly
Yeah.
right. So there was just the small matter of the various nuances of order of operations and
So you
things.
could have shared that with me because I can't do a goddamn thing about it. Instead, I
Not
had to.
true. Not
Instead, I had
true.
to chat.
So
Oh,
much. So much of this is about the head game because you can do things about it. Look how close we are.
yes.
You have options here.
Okay.
We
Well,
want
good.
to
You and I are
optimize
going to
the
go into a
movement.
different room, and
Okay.
then David will have to talk to the crowd.
Talk to the crowd.
Oh my God! We had 3 viewers, and they all left once I started vamping. So
Oh no.
yeah, so
Really?
I'm doomed
Oh
as a
God.
stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
So
but your interview with the guy from Sound of Drums was excellent.
yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm
So
a professional interviewer.
okay.
I'm planning
All
on
right.
being the next Huelhauser. So
Whew. All right.
All right. Now, a
David,
just
we've set you
a
up now.
unit joining a stack comes in at the bottom, correct?
Strangely, I don't believe there's anything in the rules that says that. Intuitively, you'd think it would,
I
but
know that's the way it is in Lavatai, and I'm not
and
sure.
and it makes absolute sense that it would be that way. I just don't see anything in the rules that says it. Speaking of which, I better go get my copy of the rules. I'll be
well,
right
and
back.
can't you change the order of stacking during the movement phase anyway? So
Look, you
At the
can.
beginning, at the end of movement, yes.
It's just super weird that a unit can move up and suddenly be in the front, like, and nobody can do anything about it because it's not considered movement to change stacking order, which is weird because within the hex it is movement, right? But it's like you can't op charge somebody if he enters the hex where somebody already is and suddenly goes to the top of the stack. It's weird. Seems like you should be able to.
What if he doesn't want to go to the top of the stack?
Well, then he doesn't. I mean, that's easy.
yeah, you just put him wherever the hell you want in the stack,
How
right?
you want? I'm gonna go get my rules. Be back.
It's probably a good idea.
See what that would be under.
So stacking is page 15. It's
Yeah.
number
Just
10.
that.
I mean, I guess so.
Stacking.
Yeah. There's no additional movement cost to enter or exit an occupied hex. However, the moving unit must meet the stacking requirements. Okay. Well, for cavalry, all it says is cavalry may not stack in a hex with infantry or artillery. Cavalry units may stack in a hex with another cavalry unit only if it ends its movement with the same facing formation as the non-moving unit and occupies all the same hexes.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
During movement segment, the units of an activated command may voluntarily change their stacking order before expending any movement points, and also when their movement is completed. Once a stack begins expending movement points, it may not voluntarily change its stacking order until it ceases its movement. In the
Right.
pursuit completion step, cavalry stacks that pursued may voluntarily reorder their stacking. Units do not need to be in command to change stacking order.
It doesn't cost movement points. It's not a facing or formation change, and it is permitted in a mixed stack of active and inactive units. It doesn't trigger opportunity charge or opportunity fire, doesn't cause disorder checks, isn't pass through. It's incredibly generous in my mind.
Yeah.
When you think about how limiting the movement rules are generally in bar, that
Mhm.
one is just like no problem. Y'all just waltz through each other, and even though there are other horsemen 100 yards away, they don't do anything about it. It's weird, but it's true.
Okay.
Actually, but it
Go
doesn't
for it.
say what. It doesn't say anything about when it moves into the stack with another. What's the stacking order?
No, it doesn't, because basically as long as they're as long as they are both finished expending movement points, then you can rearrange any way you want.
Right. So the idea is if you're moving through them, it doesn't matter. But if you're moving
Right.
into the stack, then they end their movement with that stack, then
Then
you
you can
can,
rearrange.
you can rearrange them any way
Right.
you want.
So that's why it never tells you if you're on the bottom or on the top, because it's actually irrelevant.
Okay. Well,
It's wherever you want to be.
all right. So we did disorder checks. So, and I'm also going to activate. No, that's all right. I won't activate that. Okay. All right. So this is be the cavalry. What else? What do we got? We got some movement here. Oh, there's another disordered guy in the back here that need, or two disordered guys in the
Oh,
back that
way
need to.
back by the Kaiserstrasse?
Yeah.
Oh my word. Goodness gracious.
One of them
Yeah.
is not even worth it, but
Oh yeah, they are pretty not too
we'll
good.
do that one and see if they.
Oh,
Nope,
one of
they're
them's
No.
good.
they're still disordered, and the
All
other's
right.
disordered and shaken. So, oh, they're going to be.
All right.
Only
But
shaken.
those guys are well worth bringing back, even if it's a long walk for them, because those guys are good.
Yes. There we go. So now they are only shaken.
Only shaken, but shaken are they?
And so they
Okay.
can move half their movement point,
Half
right?
their movement. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
because
right.
they're out of
So
command.
you can come on up, at least to the creek, it looks like.
To the creek. I mean,
Stream? What are we calling that thing? The
these
marsh?
guys, they can't get
Yeah.
anywhere near it.
Yeah,
Oh,
What are you
that's right.
talking?
They're in column. That's
They're
they
in
can,
column, brother.
yeah.
yeah. Well, do I want to be over there? No, I don't want to be over
Oh,
there.
well, you know, whatever.
One. Whoops. Let's take the whole stack. We go 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
All right. So now we go to, all right. So first, let's take this guy here. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to go in on the bottom of this stack.
Exciting.
All right. This unit is going to extend line to his left into that hex.
Okay. And that costs what? 1 point or 2 points?
Two. It's one
2.
plus the cost of the hex.
Okay.
Now you can make an opportunity charge if you so wish. With-
Who can?
with this guy.
No, that's fine.
And then he will finish his room by withdrawing his other half into there.
For another 2 movement points. All right.
So he
All
could
right.
have turned and moved and
Sure. But,
Well,
and
then you would
exposed
have
his flank.
flank. You would have exposed my flank.
oh, I see. So this was just a cheeky way of moving him
That's right.
sideways without.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. So
It's
All right.
when you're playing with Yoda here. It's
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, he's really thought about this. I, on the other hand,
depth.
I'm just winging it.
Actually,
Very good.
I probably should have done that a little bit, but that's okay if I put this in. All right, so this guy here is moving forward, and what's my charge range? One, two.
Should be four, I
4.
think, isn't it? Yeah,
So,
I think
all right,
theirs is 3, yours is 4.
all right. So I'm within charge range there, right?
So it seems.
Sure.
Okay. And this fella here is going to back up down the hill.
All right. And yeah, sure. Yeah, that
And
works.
again, you have a chance.
Upcharge potential there as well. Yeah. No, he's not rising to the bait.
All right. And that was my disorder check, and he's fine.
All
Right?
looking good.
All right.
All righty.
And let's see. All right. And these two. All right. And what's the other one? Yes, that's fine. Those two are moving to there. All right. Should I move Zeton with that?
Yeah, be careful about putting Zeton over there.
Yeah.
I speak from
All right,
experience.
that's not Zeton, but I mean,
Kata.
Kata.
should I move him on top of there?
Mm.
All right, I'll risk it. Let's just see. Is he going to be -5? All right. Yeah.
He doesn't add anything to the. He's not a terribly brilliant cavalry commander. No pluses.
That's why we've never heard of him until
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But would help morale checks on that. So yeah, I don't know what the king will think, but let's see. Okay. All right. So now we're going to have
Okay. All right.
4 attempted charges.
4 attempted charges. Okay.
4 attempted charges.
Charge.
Mm-hmm.
Charge.
Mm.
And charge. And charge.
Magnifique.
All right. Now, okay. Which one? What order should I attempt these in?
Well,
Okay.
you have to roll first, right?
Yeah.
I have to. Yeah, I'm
Gotta
trying.
roll for all of them, but
I got to roll for all.
arguably, you still have to decide what order you're going to roll for them in. Although left to right sure seems good.
Left to right. Well,
Oh my God.
Dude,
It's
Dude,
just
you're
the
already
frigging
committed.
dice.
you're committed.
all right.
Uh,
All
Go
right.
for it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do this one here. Whatever. Boom. Okay.
Okay, he's going in.
Boom. Let's see. Boom. Oh,
He's going in.
Boom. Boom. Yeah.
He's going in.
And last but not least, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he's not going in.
Yeah, no, special result.
Oh, special result.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Let's
mean,
see.
that's not a
Morale
great
check.
special result, but it is. It's pre-combat, so it's type B.
0-3 for the Prussians. If
Yep.
the unit is stacked with a leader, re-roll with a -15. Otherwise,
Otherwise-
re-roll with a +10.
Okay, all right, so plus 10.
All right.
So
Is
that's
he at 22 or better? I think he is.
I think he might be.
He's a 21.
21!
There you go.
Hey!
It's good to
All
have
right.
brilliant people. What can you
It
do?
does help. It does help.
All right. So now am I supposed to do all my cavalry charge movement, or do we?
That's right. You do the
Okay.
cavalry charge movement one at a time. You get them to they're all done with all their cavalry charge movement, and then you decide which attacks need to happen and in what order.
2, 3, and I don't.
Okay, and so then stop because I can
Yep.
opportunity charge.
Yep.
You can't.
Yep, that's right. So
Right.
back up, and you
Yep.
can countercharge at that point, right?
Yeah. So I'll give that a try.
Uh-huh.
39. Let's see if I manage to do it. I did.
Oh wow, boy, just that was
Well,
right
what's
ahead.
the what's the subtract for being half dead?
Well, he's plus 10 for that, but
Yeah.
he's a 27, so 37 was all he needed, and he got a
Okay.
39. So
Boom.
he's going to be real sorry now because he's going to get hit with both of those stacks. But whatever.
All right. So then this guy comes forward, right?
Yeah.
Good. And then
Not a
this
lot of
guy
choice
can
there.
try to
He can
opportunity.
if he wants.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and roll for them. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, he's just by the skin of his teeth. They were a little
Wow.
they were a
All
little
right.
curious about that.
Yeah, okay, good times. All right, and there is probably no charge movement for the other two.
Nope.
Nope, because it's I presume you're just attacking the guys that are in front of you, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, what else are they gonna do? There's nothing else they can do, really.
Nope.
All right.
So I think the battles are all obvious because they're all 1-for-1. I mean, 1 hex versus 1 hex. There's really nothing else you can do.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's just a question of what order in which you'd like to do it. The defenders, the 2 defenders on the bottom, there's no advantage to getting in their flank because they've already rolled their defender morale check. They did so before their countercharge. The ones up top, there is still some benefit to it. For example, if you did the attack on the far west and you won, then you can end up in the next guy's flank hex. So when he has to roll his defender morale check, he's getting a plus 10. Just, thinking
Oh, so
about
I
how to
don't I don't do the morale check until after the combat is done?
That's right. You do
Oh,
it
okay.
during the individual combat designation, which means the attacker kind of has the benefit of getting to arrange things the way they want
Sure.
to try to make it more miserable for the defender. Obviously, no promises made, but
Well, I'm used to misery. That's being Austrian.
then.
Yeah.
there you
Bring
go.
it on.
That's the spirit.
Hey, William is sending his regards. Mr. William Arens is coming from
all
Little
the
Rock,
way from-
Arkansas.
Do what?
Little Rock. He must be traveling in other parts of the world. He's not in the Great White North.
Holy smokes.
He's down in Little Rock, Arkansas.
That's
So
very
greetings,
good.
William. Greetings, William. So, all right.
Hardly recognized.
Unleash the Kraken.
So would you? I'd say do this one first because they're both about the same odds.
Yeah, I mean, either
And
one's
this
fine.
has
Oh, actually, you know what? Of course, the one's already got somebody in his flank because the guys in the church are in his flank, or church or walled farm
Yeah,
or
a little
whatever.
walled farm.
So that one over there has definitely got somebody in his flank, no matter
I should
what
hit-
happens.
I should hit that one first. Then.
Why
Yep.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right, so we'll do that one.
We'll
I
do
didn't-
it.
All right. So I've got to make
Especially-
a morale check.
Plus
And-
20.
Yep. So here we go. Rolling well. 46. I don't think that's going to be good
Probably not
enough.
well enough.
35.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
So he's
All
going to
right,
be shaken or disordered?
Shaken. Nope,
Okay.
shaken. And meat.
Yeah, he's pretty much toast.
Yeah, he's in bad
Yeah.
shape there. Yeah.
Since he's half dead anyway.
Yeah.
So, That's all
So
right.
the
He
attack.
is doing his job for the Empress.
Exactly. So the odds are 1.5 to 1 because it's 5 to 3, and then
But
the
is he?
combat.
What doesn't shaken? Is he
No,
halved
it's
or no? Okay, he's
disorder
still
has
one.
your strength
Okay,
points. It's
disorder has.
shaken is the one that messes up your combat value, so you
Okay,
end up getting the die roll modifiers.
mm, that's
So
how
what is the attacker's combat value?
Ecker's combat value here. Boom.
Plus
All right,
5.
+5.
Strictly speaking, it's +6 because they're light cavalry, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna wash out with the other guys. The other guys, oh, I'm trying to remember what the optional rule is. The rule as written is you cut the combat value in half if you're half dead, but then there was an optional rule that said no, just subtract 2. I'm not sure. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not sure which one we're playing by. Um,
Well, I thought it
so
was that it's half because he's half. He's only
well,
got
that
half.
is
Yeah.
the original standard rule as written.
Okay.
It's just that they made an optional rule because they realized that meant it was actually punishing elite units more than lesser units. And they thought, well, that's kind of weird. So then there was an optional rule that just said it's -2.
Right.
So whatever. But yeah, we just play it as the rule
Right.
is written. So it's +1,
Right.
plus another one for light cavalry, the enemies um in your face,
Right.
and uh, that's 2.
Yep.
Uh, -5 for
For
being
being
shaken.
shaken.
So that now -3, and actually it's going to be -3 more because you've got a passive inflate.
Yep. Yep.
So it's -6, and the attacker was +6.
Yes. So it's
So
a
that's going
plus
to be
12.
1 to 1, 1.5 to 1 +12.
Yeah.
What
Okay,
could possibly go wrong?
what could possibly
A roll is
special result.
0.
So that's
So it's going
All
to
right.
be a
It's only
9.
gonna be a +9.
So it's I lose 3 and route. Well, he just ceases to exist,
Just
and you take 1
vaporized.
hit.
1 hit. All
I'll
right.
take that trade.
Sure.
Uh, he was doomed anyway. There was no way I could
He
get him
was.
out. If I move him out, he's going to get shot to crap. If he stays there, he's going to get blown away.
Yeah,
So
nothing good was gonna happen
yeah,
with this guy. That's for sure.
yeah. So he's just he did his
this.
duty. He did his duty. He held a little piece of ground for 20 minutes.
There you go.
All right, where is our
Now I can change my facing, right? Going in there.
You can because you're not in an enemy zone of control, and there's no one to pursue. So you could adopt whatever facing you like.
And would
Um,
that be? Then I'd have
Um,
active inflate, right?
you would provide active enfilade, would and really probably not very dangerous because if somebody tried to charge you, they're literally putting themselves right under the guns of all your infantry. Seems a little cheeky, but I mean,
But that's
you
what I
would be
do as the
opening your flank.
Austrians. Come on.
Well,
That's how I roll.
you know,
Go
the
ahead.
truth is
Show me your
is
flank. Show me your
you're
flank.
you're gonna freaking beat these guys.
We'll do
You're
that.
gonna
All
freaking kill
right.
me. All right. So what's next?
We'll do the next one, and I might as well. So that's also looks like it's going to be
Right down the line
six
here.
+4. It's 10. Yep.
Well, hold on. He needs to roll his defender morale check
Yep.
first.
Yep.
'Cause, and that's going to be +10.
Oh, probably
Uh-oh.
equally
Uh-oh.
less impressive.
Oh
No.
dear. Nope,
Nope,
that's not enough. That is not enough.
And they were one of the better guys too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Bastards. Bastards.
You know what? I lost a Prussian guard unit, completely destroyed.
Right.
So, it doesn't matter that they're 17s. I mean, just bad things happen.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay, well that's going to mess them up a little bit. So what do we got? We got odds of 6,
I've got
7, 8,
10.
9, 10 to 6. So it's 1.5 to 1
One
also,
again.
right? Okay. And the top of the stack is +5. And then plus another 1. So that's 6.
6.
You're going up a slope. So I think
Yep.
that's
Minus
-2, isn't it?
2.
Yep.
So it's 4.
Yep. Plus
And then the
4.
defender is, I think he's going to be -6 again. He's going to be oh no, sorry.
I'm plus
3.
3.
3 -5 makes it -2. -3 more makes it
Minus
-5.
5. Yep.
So it's 9. 1.5 to 1 plus 9.
Here we
Alright,
go. Roll another 0. Oh, that's even better.
Another 3.
So that's going to be
Yeah.
a 6
Plus
then.
6.
6. Yep.
1.5.
Yep.
So that's a 1d2r,
Oh, wow.
right? If I'm looking at that correctly,
1.5 to 1.
a 6 is 1d2r, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've got to take 2 losses, and that's, I think, this guy's first loss.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And let's increase that. Okay, cool. And then I got to find a little R mark for him. Do.
Boy, I have been very grateful that I bought extra marker sheets from Clash of Arms.
Oh, I'm sure you need it.
In this battle in Luthen. Oh my gosh, am I
Although-
going through the counters?
Although, I mean, couldn't you just assemble those from all kinds of other things?
I could. It's just that I wanted to have one counter tray that's just what was in it.
Right.
It was just an absolute boatload of markers. So any game I play, I just take that with me and I'm good.
All right. So I've got to go back, correct? And I can't
Yeah,
go
you gotta
into
go back
that hex, and I can't
6.
go into that hex because there's enemy Zocs, right?
Yeah, it's not great, is
Right.
it? Yeah.
So I should
yeah.
go. Let's see. If I'm going to go, it would be. It's got to kind of be some sort of either zigzag thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Or
Or
1,
the other
2,
way.
3, 4, 5, 6, like
Yeah.
that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go this way. We'll go straight back in this way like that.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Very good. All right. So
1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6 puts me right there.
All right. And then we got some
Okay.
disordered checks for those
Yep.
two stacks there.
So roll for that chap. 13.
Oh, dear.
He's going to be disordered.
Shaken and disordered, actually.
Shaken and disordered. Why is that?
It's the only disorder check where that is the result.
Oh, right. Because I think that happened with the other guy
Yeah.
last turn. Okay. Well.
Yeah. It's especially nasty if you fail it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm
Yeah.
good at that. Although, let's see. He could be a
You're-
13. Let's see. Is he a 13?
Is he a
No, he's
13?
not. He's twice a 13.
You
Okay.
don't have any 13s. You certainly don't.
Oh, come on. All right. And then we'll go roll for this chap over
Now,
here.
this one has the
he's
advantage
fine.
of the leader, and you
Wood.
probably get a little bit of a buff for being in the trees. But either way, you rolled well enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The woods, I
Okay.
think, give you a minus
I think it's
5.
+5 or -5, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However you guys were used to it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess
All
I
right.
won't be charging with that guy this turn. Huh.
No, don't look like it.
All right. What's next?
All right. So I guess we go straight to it. This now on these two, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Let's see what's. Let's do that one.
Yeah,
first.
sure. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
So he moved 3, and I moved 1.
4.
No, he didn't,
Oh,
because
you moved right.
yeah.
You moved 1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So he moved 3, and I moved 1. So let's go
Right.
ahead and flip things over here.
So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the attacker. And the defender is 4, but -2. So it's 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 more for moving is 4. So it's 4.
Well, and I'm
With
heavy
9 to
cavalry
4?
against his light
Oh,
cavalry.
sorry. I didn't realize that. Are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're chevaux légers, aren't they?
Oh, okay.
Aren't
All
they
right. All right.
heavies?
I'd flip them over. What's their movement?
They're 7, I think.
That's light.
Oh, that's
Seven's
light.
light.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
then it's only a
Yeah.
+1. So
Okay.
does
So
the so so when I do my counter charge, I can't change the order that I have my stacking, right? Because it's only in
no,
movement that you do that.
no.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So does the guy that's
So
on the bottom, do we add them and average it out?
so the way it actually works,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of those things where it probably isn't going to much matter, but you take the average value of the top four strength points.
Okay.
Well, of course, if three of the top four are one value and the other one is the other value, well, it's not going to matter, right? I mean, it would only really matter if the top unit was quite small,
Right.
you know. So I mean, you almost always want the really good one on top, but
Right.
um, so the it was it was a +4 on top, but he's half dead, right?
Right. So it's
So he's
2.
really just a +2.
Right. And so you've got
+3 for light cavalry, +4 for having advanced one hex.
right. So you've got
So
so if we were to average out the top 4 increments, right? You're going to
right,
have
right.
2, 4, 6, and then you add in 3, correct?
Four,
For the bottom
6.
unit. So then that's going to
Yeah,
be
right.
9, and then you
9
divide
divided
9
by
by
4,
4. So
right? So
that's
you'd
going to
have two
be
and a
a little
quarter.
over 2. So do you
Yeah.
round up or down?
Halves get rounded up, and anything less than a half gets rounded down.
Okay. So then it's
So
going to
in
be
this
2.
case, you're right. It would be 9 divided by 4, two and a quarter. It rounds back down to 2.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So I've
I'm at
got 2, 4. Yeah. So I got 4.
Right.
and I'm
And
7.
Okay. So you've got a
you,
+3,
Oh no,
I
I'm
guess.
at 7.
no, you got 9, brother.
9. Yeah, because that's not
Yeah.
up the hill, right? That's
No,
there's
there's no hill here.
nope 9. So
So that's
So you got a
plus
+5.
+5.
right? And
What's
then the
the
raw odds are
You've
1 to
got
1.
7. Yeah. I've got 7.
You've got
You've got
7, right?
7. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah?
Okay. All right. 1 to 1 plus 5.
1 to 1 plus 5. All right, now it's time for and
Ah,
it's a
Oh boy.
special
Oh boy.
result.
Here we go. Here we go.
these are always bloody. Oh, this is the
Yeah.
worst one for you. So it's a good thing you didn't roll that with your leader.
Yeah. Probably
So 3M and a 2. So you're going to lose 3 and make a morale check, and I'm going to lose 2 and make a morale check.
not. That's right.
And if there was a leader there,
And
you'd roll for a loss, but I don't think you've got the leader in that hex.
no,
So
no, he's not in that hex. So you'd spread your losses across your 2 units there.
Oops. What the hell?
Now that unit at the bottom of your stack, Eric.
yep.
Well, I guess they're both half dead now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are because the
Yeah,
other one
yeah,
had
but
they both had 3 hits on them. Now they've got 4 hits on them.
yeah, but one of them was a 7 instead of a 6.
Yeah, the one that's
Or
on
am
the
I?
bottom is a 7, and the one on the
He
top is a
just
6.
he just now became half
He
dead.
just
where
now
the other
became half
one-
dead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've got 2 on. Oh, well, it turns out their numbers are nearly the same.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
So basically, your effectiveness rating for purposes of G would be 37.
Right. And his are going to be
Is he half dead
20,
now?
I'm at
31. Yeah.
31. Okay, so
Mhm.
that means you're going to roll first, Eric, because you've got the higher number.
Right.
So you roll 37.
And I pass.
Okay, and then he rolls.
special result.
And there are no special results. in
They
these things,
rout,
So,
so
you
lose
a strength, lose another SP and rout.
Yay.
Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it on that one. That one, since you were kind of walking wounded coming into the fight, I figured that one was one that the Prussians would
Yeah.
probably win.
Yeah, that's
but that's how baseball goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Now, do I stay in my hex since he was the person attacking, or do I have to advance into the
Um,
hex?
If you were infantry, you would stay in your hex, but cavalry always has to advance, whether they're attacking or defending.
Okay.
So you have to advance. In fact, really, you have to advance in exactly the same way as if you'd charged in the first place.
Okay. So I would advance
And
into the hex like that.
exactly. And
Yep.
that was our first roll of this battle, right? We didn't go to a
Correct.
second.
Nope.
We didn't go to a refight.
Because
Okay.
he
Right.
failed
So
his morale check.
so you
No, it
roll
wasn't. It was a
pursuit
successful result.
points.
Oh, I
Right.
roll pursuit points?
Yeah, you do just exactly like there
All
you
right.
go.
So I
Now,
got
of
8
course,
pursuit points.
you're only going to get to go one, obviously,
Right,
you're gonna
because he's
run
got
into
somebody
that
else
guy.
there. But I
Right.
could redeploy if I wanted to.
Well, see, here's the trick.
Right.
Because in order to use free movement, you have to use at least one pursuit point.
Okay.
But of course, by the time you use that pursuit point, your movement stops because you're in somebody else's zone of control.
Oh, and so then I can't turn around and do anything else.
Exactly.
Okay. Can I
And-
change my facing?
And
You have to
Can you-
follow me.
Right. But I mean, the idea is I could,
okay.
right?
All right. Well,
Like,
all right. Let's
way did
just
you
be
go?
let's just be
Oh,
clear.
you kind of went up that way.
He
Okay.
went that way,
Yeah,
right?
So I'd keep the same
Okay.
facing I have now.
So blocked retreat path would be the reason that it ended.
Mm-hmm.
The blocked retreat path ends pursuit movement, and if no recall has been attempted, a recall disorder check is made. Any unused pursuit points may be used for free movement. Otherwise, the procedure goes to the pursuit completion step. Okay, so then if we think about free movement restrictions, during free movement, the pursuing stack can make a maximum of 2 facing changes. Hex may not be exited if any enemy unit occupies either front hex. Facing change must be made before the hex can be exited. He cannot enter a hex or cross a hex side normally prohibited. Of course, cannot enter a hex if it has insufficient pursuit points. Cannot enter an enemy friendly occupant. Okay, all right. If any one of the following immediately ends the pursuing cavalry's free movement, if it enters an enemy zone of control, if it has no pursuit points remaining, if it cannot make a legal move, or if it declares it's done. So I'm head scratching here a little bit, but it looks to me like if you wanted to do free movement, you'd have to advance into that hex northeast of you.
Right.
And then you'd be unable to exit that hex because there'd be an enemy unit occupying either one of your front hexes.
Right.
So you'd have to make a facing change before the hex could be exited. Okay, so let's assume you wanted to make a facing change
So
to turn back
don't-
and go
don't-
back the other
yeah.
way.
Right.
And then you'd move out of that hex, and then as soon as you move into the next hex, let's say you wanted to be in the hex southwest of where you are now.
Right.
Then you're in an enemy zone of control, and you'd have to stop moving at that point facing the wrong way.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't be very
Yeah.
interesting.
So I'm not going to bother to pursue. Yeah.
All right, so you still need to roll a recall.
disorder check.
Yep.
64. We're happy.
All good. Okay.
All right. And then I guess we have the last charge here.
Okay. So you only went 1 hex forward, I think, right? Because you were here in this hex.
I think that's right. You
Yeah.
both went 1 hex
Yep.
forward. Yeah, that's right. So it's 14 to 8, so it's 1.5 to 1. The top unit is a +6, so that's going to be +8 for that unit, and +6 for the defender. Is that
Right.
right? So it
So it's
looks
a
like it's going to be
+2.
1.5 to 1 +2. 1.5 to 1 plus 2. That's going to be the closest fight of them yet.
Yeah. So let's see what I can do
Oh,
now.
that's a really good
Oh
roll.
my
Oh no,
God.
it's another
Oh, no,
special
that's
thing.
not.
I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh, that's a
gosh.
great show.
3
Oh,
and 3.
guess
Got to
what?
roll for your
Leader.
leader.
See if he
Roll
catches
for
a
your
saber in the
leader.
head.
Yeah, figures. All right, so I have to do 2 on this guy, 1 on the other guy.
Really need to roll for the leader first, actually. I mean, it doesn't matter, but
Yeah, so a 0, 1, 2, or 3, and he's off to the
Bites
chopping
it.
block.
All right, 1 die.
One
All
die.
Uh,
Now
yeah.
Oh,
he
you
skates.
kidding me?
Skates.
Not even
Live another
close.
day.
Not even close. All right.
It's like that shot through Napoleon's hat, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry. What number did we roll? 07?
0
Yeah,
7.
There we
07.
go. Okay, so it's 3.
Yep.
3
Ouch.
for each.
All right.
For each.
So I'm assuming the defender's going to have to roll first because he's a 37.
Why am I 37?
Because you're half dead, aren't
I'm
you?
not half
Oh no,
dead.
you're an 8. My bad. You're
Yeah,
a 27. Okay,
yeah.
but the attackers are at least
But they're
that
probably
number or
better, and they've
Yeah,
got
and not half dead either.
Yeah.
So 22, 33. Well, the stack is 22 though, so it doesn't matter.
okay. There you go.
So,
Let's
all right,
roll.
27 then.
44.
All right.
We
And
pass.
then the attacker rolls.
And I so see if I can. Oh, I'm
Okay.
fine.
More
you get to
better.
do all of this again.
Okay. All right. So now we've got what 11 attacking and 5 defending. So it's now 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anything changes from a
It's
'cause
still
the
a
plus
plus
one
2.
for light cavalry doesn't count anymore, and the plus
Pluses
one
for the charges
movement
don't
doesn't
count
matter
anymore.
either. So it's just printed values, so it's plus 2. So it's 2 to 1 plus 2.
Let's do. All right. Oh, and that's
That's
a
going to be
That's
a
the
5.
spirit. That's more like it.
So that's going to be a 1D2R.
1d2r.
All right. So we increase that. Those poor bastards got chopped up.
Yeah, there's nothing like a couple of special results to.
All right. And they can go
Mess
straight
things up.
back.
That's right. Yeah.
1, 2. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that.
Sure. Yep,
Okay,
nothing
cool.
wrong with that. All right. And then the attackers have to advance.
Yeah.
They have to maintain that southward facing.
And that was that hex there, right?
And they are disordered because we went to a refight.
Well, and
And
it was
so-
also called for, right?
Oh, sorry. But regardless, it would have required a disorder for sure.
Yep.
All right. So roll for pursuit points. 9. Again, you're only going to get to use 1 even if you do anything.
And now let's recall if we can. That's
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, with authority. Okay, wow, some bloody fighting there. But I guess I think about it this way: if you batted 750 in the major leagues, you'd be a hero.
It looks like William is trying to share with our live stream other people, 2 friends. He's down in,
Oh.
he's visiting his wife's sister in Little Rock.
Sister.
They've got a couple
Okay.
of friends that they're trying to introduce the hobby to.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get some converts
Oh.
to the system there. And it looks
Well,
like
we
Jeff from
will-
Hex to Hex is watching as well. So greeting, Jeff.
Lovely.
All right.
Indeed.
Well,
So,
if you while you're in Little Rock, you got to go by Whole Hog. It's a local chain of barbecue places.
aha.
I think very highly of it. Okay,
Okay. I think that is the.
that's all the fun you plan to have.
Think that's all the fun we plan to have.
Wow. Okay. Take that.
There you go. Did you flip your little man over?
Yeah, you got 1 liter to flip.
Where is he?
He's with
Where'd
the
he go?
disordered
There he
stack.
is. There he is.
So let's
There you
see.
go.
You had altogether 3 successful. 3 of the 4 were successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
that's what I was
complain
saying.
about that at all.
750 in the major leagues, you'd be a hero. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, half of 750, you'd be a hero in baseball. Okay. Well, very good. Well, I think it's Eric's role.
All
do
right.
have
Let's see what
guy
we
there
can
that-
muster over here. Oh my God.
Special result.
Special results right off the bat.
Not
So
bad.
7. Special rally. Pick a command for free disorder recovery phase, rally phase.
Oh my gosh, where that?
Thank God.
that?
All right. Well, that's going to be, I think I'm going to try to get back the guys. Now, do they have to be within range of their
Yes,
commander?
they
Is that
do.
it? Okay.
Yeah, because really it's the commander who's
Right.
getting the special event.
Yeah. So we will, we'll do it with this guy here. So I've got these guys need to do it. These guys, these guys, these guys. I think they're all part of his command. M.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But
that's,
there's other people that are from him, but they're out of.
right, but they're
way
beyond
far
his
away.
reach at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do we roll for first? Shaken or routed
You
or
always
what?
do disorder recovery first,
Okay.
and then you do rallies.
Okay. So we've got this guy here to roll for.
Oh, and he's with Nadazdi, so
He's with
yeah, that's
Nadajdi, so
good. I mean, it's still going to be plus 15 minus the 12, so it's going to be plus 5. Or excuse me, plus 3. I don't know
plus
where I
3.
came up with that
Okay.
number.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
they
There
are
you go.
feeling pretty good
They're
about themselves.
Merely shaken at the moment.
All right.
Very
So that
good.
takes care of that. Then we got this guy over here.
He's just plus 5.
Okay. 32. I kind of doubt.
I
But
think
we'll
he's
see.
pretty good, though, isn't he?
Come on. These are Austrians.
Oh, no,
33.
no. Never mind. All right.
Missed
well,
it
we
by
got
that much.
that much.
All right. Then we got
another
this
one in
guy
the back.
down here.
Plus
Let's
5
roll for him. 54.
All
That
right,
should
that's
be
pretty
good.
Wow, this is actually turning out fairly well for you.
All right. Just shaking. All right. And then what do we roll for next?
Now it's time to do a rally phase. And
Okay.
just because we always do rally phase with shaken units first, we'll do the routed guy last.
Okay. So let's do this guy up here.
All right.
So is
and
it
he's
the
gonna-
same thing with.
Well, in this case, it's going to be plus 20 because he's shaken and in an enemy zone of control, but then minus 12, so it's really just plus 8.
Okay. Let's see what we
So-
get.
40 or
Oh.
better. Oh, wow. There you go.
All right. He's
Nadazdi's trying
ready
to save the day
for-
there,
ready for revenge.
realizing that
All right. And then we got this guy over here.
trouble, and he's just going to be plus 10.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be
0. Oh, okay. I'm like, is that a special result? No.
Nope. There are no
Okay.
special results for rallies.
Okay.
All right.
So
This
then last
guy's
but not
gonna be
least,
plus 25 because he's half dead and routed. So
Yep.
it's going to be 52 or better.
nope, that's no good.
Loses another increment and runs some more.
Okay. Story of my life.
Yeah.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, with
Pick a
rolls like
number.
that, we don't even need to bother fighting the Prussians.
No, just
Yeah.
keep running.
Yeah. Well, at least we got Nadajdi's guys back. That was good.
No, that's actually was very nicely timed to be able to get that special result. And then be better positioned to try to make something of your turn.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Cool. 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 I think.
All right, I think that was it for the special results. So carry on.
Okay. Let's roll again and see what we get. Oh, that's definitely
There's
yours, and it's a wing
big,
activation.
a big wing for the Prussians. Wow. If if only we had any idea what we wanted to do with the wing.
Let's
Um,
see, what do we got here?
so you've got the other half of Zeton's wing, the infantry half, and then you've also got what, Trescow? Is that who?
Yep.
Uh, okay, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna give up on my old eyes. Right, right. There's Trescow now. Okay. So, I mean, it probably makes sense for you to go first, just to keep moving per our previous discussions in order to make room.
Special secret plans.
Special secret plans. Yeah, double secret plans.
Special secret handshake plans.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying? Oh, I should take this. Are you saying
Well,
you don't have any?
All
since it's
right.
been
I
3 weeks
think that
since we
does
had.
it. I am going to take your thing for you. You guys can't be decisive. The Austrians are going to be decisive.
I would say you should take this. You should either take Trescow and move him, or move the other half of Eaton's outfit. But I would think maybe Trescow makes more sense. But you decide.
Yeah.
But
Okay. We'll do
since we're
Trescal
kind of
and
pushing to the east, it makes sense for you to move first.
okay. So let's yeah, we'll do Trescal and we'll do um this artillery and all right. Trescal, let's see. And Trescal is these guys. And
And then Ingerscholz or whoever, this guy over here, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Those are the two.
and his so these two and
Yeah, and Trescow is actually right here underneath that cavalry unit.
Thank you. I've been looking all over for him. Yes, that is where he is.
okay. So let's see, what do we want to do with this stuff here? All right. This guy here. 1, 2, 3.
Oops.
Where are we? 1. Oh no, that's still 2, 3. Okay. And 1, 2. What's this? That steep slope.
Steep slope going up in line is +2.
It's a disorder check, right?
Is there a
Yes.
disorder check?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. dismember these and move them one and three and one. Next. Unit finished. And all right, so Trescow's back here. Let's see, where do we want to put him? Let's put him there.
And the only nice part about this battlefield is at least there are convenient roads for stretching out leadership. But I mean, the whole sunken road business I could live without. To be completely blunt with you, sir.
Hey, I didn't design the battlefield.
I know, and
I'm just doing my best to use it in my favor.
if Frederick had a drone, he probably wouldn't have fought here at all.
Did you make a disorder check for that guy who
Nope.
went up the steep
Disorder
slope?
check.
Yeah,
hey,
they're
fine.
happy. They're happy.
For the reminder. All right, and I guess it's down to my roll now,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Boom.
Hey, it's
Another
another
wing.
wing.
another wing. Gazuta lore. All right. And, pardon me while my insulin pump screams at me. Okay, well, let's see then. What would be another wing we could do? There's lots of Penaver's guys all there in the middle that could all wing if they were so inclined. uh, yeah, we could. And now I just got to decide what would I do if I had a wing? What would I do? If I were a wing, what would I do? What Sam Hill is that guy doing there?
He's a leader.
He's leading all right.
Well, there's not much left of his command. You made short work of it.
Oh, he probably was concerned about this.
Yeah, I moved him over there so that he could
Okay.
have the guy
I'm
at
just
least
sitting there going,
potentially get the hell out of there.
what you definitely want to do is get right in front of that 6-pounder battery. That's where you want to be. What the heck? Okay, all right, that makes more sense. I was looking to see if there's a target there, but maybe not. Because it would be ungentlemanly to attack him as an officer. Okay, let's see. How are we looking back here? Kind of shot up. Not too bad, but kind of shot up. And where are all the leaders? Okay. Well, all right. So I guess I will go ahead and do the cavalry. And of course it'll only be the what MEKR and KO because the other two are way off in the west.
Right.
So it'll just be them. Oh, I'm not too worried about him then.
So I think this guy's out of command, right? Because KR is back here. One, two, three,
4.
Oh, no, you're right. It is 4.
No, everybody looks like they're all right. Yeah, I think everybody's all right. So, got to decide what I feel like doing. 6, 6, 5, 5, 7, 6. Yeah, I don't know. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll start moving people just because we can. Okay. And these guys, I will do this with these guys. I will go. Hello? Oh, again, my keyboard's not working. Okay, well, we'll try that again. We'll do.
So KO is moved, right?
Uh, well, I mean, they're all moving at the same
Okay.
time, but effectively, yeah, KO is moved. So I'm over here with ME and KR, and I'm just trying to figure out it's Z and X. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these guys. Oh, there's nobody stacked under him. How odd. Okay, that's fine. I will move him forward. And move him forward. I guess I'll move them forward, and then there's no. And then this guy's way in the back. One. What did we decide that was? Is that 2 for them or 3 for cavalry?
Going what, across the sunken road?
Yeah, yeah.
The sunken road, it says cavalry, it's 4 in
It's
line.
4. Okay,
Yep,
well,
it's
so
4.
he's moved. So he spent 5. He'll just stay where he is. So that's all good. And then we will bring Monsieur KR up here. And I think we're good. And then we'll just go for that. And then okay. And then KO. Where am I going to put him? In there. And all right. Well, I will go ahead and just, in the spirit of everything I was telling David, I'm just going to go ahead
And not charge.
and charge all 4 of these.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. And because at this point, I think I'm losing the battle pretty good. And, we get one more lick in.
Sure.
We'll start
why
with the
not?
left and we'll start rolling. And so we roll, and then we roll again, and then we roll again. And we'll have to check that one because that one could be problematic.
That's the 8-6 that's in the middle. That guy, I think.
Yeah. I'm just.
Oh, he just barely squeaked it through.
Just missed it. All right. Very good. All right. So we will go ahead and do. Work my way down the line here. 2 All right. He'll go first,
Okay.
and he's there.
How exciting.
Anybody gonna come after him?
Nope. We're going to stay up the top of the slope.
That's marvelous.
That's why
Simply
we're
marvelous.
there. That's why
All
we're
right.
there.
All right. So we'll continue on the path here. All right. So that looks like a good time.
A, a heck of a good time.
Heck of a good time. It's hard to beat, really. And if I double checking here, no, I know the answer. All right. So then, which one do I care to do first? You ask. Well, I guess we'll do that one first.
All right. So who are you attacking?
The only one I can.
Oh, this one right here? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
there's
roll the
no
dice.
other option.
So I make my morale check, correct?
You got to make a morale check.
I
That's
made
right.
my morale check.
Looked like you made it with some conviction.
Indeed.
All right, very good. And all right, so let's see. I moved 3, so that's going to be what, 10 for me and 7 for you. I think that's right.
Yep, it's a +3.
So it looks like it's going to be 1 to 2 plus 3. Let's see what we get. 1 to 2 plus 3.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Oh, that's 1 to 2, 11. Or 10, excuse me, but regardless.
Okay, so
top
I'm
of the
2R and you are 1. That was a really good roll.
That was a heck of a roll.
Saved your bacon.
Kind of needed it. Yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting that keyboard's not working. There we go.
All right. All right, and then I have to figure out how to get out of Dodge. So let's see here. What's a good space for me to go? I guess. Well, you don't want to go over the top. Is there going over the infantry? Is that good or bad? Or
I don't think it makes any difference. I think the only thing to, let me look at this, morale checks. Oh no, it's a disorder check. That's always confusing to me. Let me find the correct one. It's a disorder check, and the things that matter. No, it is a morale check. Oh, I always have trouble with this one. Friendly unit retreats. It's type F. So being in a supported line is helpful. It gives you a -10, so that's a good thing. So anybody who's got both flanks anchored on a friendly unit is a good thing.
right.
And beyond that, it's up to you. Now, obviously, that would to me suggest that maybe this guy would be a good place to run through.
Right.
Because this guy doesn't have anybody on his flank, and this guy doesn't have anybody on both of his flanks, and that probably is going to be the thing. Rules as written would probably suggest that you can't go through him, though, because how do you do that while you're making a straight line? So it's just a question of how we wanted to handle the retreat.
Oh,
rules.
I see. Oh, yeah, because I couldn't go 1, 2, 3. It would be 1,
because
2,
now it's not a very
3,
straight
4,
line, is
5,
it? Yeah,
6, right.
exactly. So,
well, re-roll the combat, and then we can try it again.
yeah, that would be so much better. What was I thinking? Yeah.
So let's I guess go through our cavalry here. That's probably going to be easier.
Okay.
I think their morale is probably better than these poor
Maybe.
schlubs.
Yeah.
Although,
Could
to be
be.
honest with you, I don't know. They're all questionable.
Well, you know what? You're one die roll away from finding out.
Exactly. So, yeah. So let's go that way. So
All
1,
right,
2,
4,
3,
6.
4, 5, 6 back that way. And so then we roll for that guy.
All right.
29. Survey says
Uh-oh.
36.
Uh-oh. That's shaken and disordered.
That's our favorite thing. That seems to be what happens to me all the time now.
Those
I
are
know
dark.
that this guy would not have been, yeah, he's at 35. He wouldn't have been any
Oh,
better.
geez. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been
Yeah.
any better. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not super. All right. There's no pursuit because I'm
In the zone.
we got
Yep.
an enemy zone of control right there. So I think all I do is just roll for the recall, and I think we're done.
And they're
And we
happy.
do. All right. So that's that. All right. So then we will march on, as they say.
Indeed.
And so we'll go ahead and let's just do the next one here.
Mm-hmm.
I keep doing that because the keyboard doesn't work. So we'll do that. We're just going to attack this one right there.
Okay.
And
All right.
so the defender needs to roll his defender morale.
Yeah, that's probably not good enough.
That's not
Nope. Missed
good.
it by
No,
that much.
that much. Ooh, okay.
That's the
All
story of my
right.
life. As I think you've said, if the Austrians have any luck, it's bad luck.
If it weren't for bad luck, you'd have none at all.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the odds are 1-to-1 because there's 5 and 5, and actually the combat value of those guys is not bad, really.
No, it's actually really good.
So I've got a 6, the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minus 2, so it's 9,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got 0.
Well,
So it's
but
1 to
I'm
1.
cavalry, right? So I'm plus 2 for heavies, right?
Oh, plus 2. You're quite right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So 9 to 2. So it's plus 7.
And it's 1-to-1 with a
1 to
plus
1.
7.
1-to-1 with plus 7. All right. Well, let's see where that gets us.
A special
Special
result.
Special result.
Boy, we've gotten a lot of special results on
It
this.
has been a target-rich environment, hasn't it?
Well, this
That's
one's better. So it's a 2M for you, and so it's a 2 for you and a 3
Right.
for me. So
2.
that's going to wreck
Okay.
this poor sod. But he's doing his job.
Keep telling yourself that.
Hey, I got to.
Hey, absolutely. All right. So he's rolling a 51 now. So I'm sure he's going first.
Yes, I'm sure. So here we go. 33. So he's going to bug out. So he's going to lose another increment, right?
This is another one and scoots, you know.
Okay. And let's increase that. No. Why does it not go the right way?
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So then he's going to go back. And so then he can go through this chap here. 1, 2,
He sure can.
3,
Yeah.
4, 5,
Yeah.
6.
And at least
Okay.
the poor bugger gets a plus 10 or minus 10 for his troubles and hope
Yep.
he doesn't go shaking.
All right. Here we go. Oh, he's very
Oh.
happy.
God. Why were we worried about it? He
Exactly.
seemed so happy about that. All right. Now I do have to roll for pursuit this time. Not much pursuit, though. So I think I will pass, and I'm just going to recall in place. Looks
You
like I
might be
didn't.
disordered.
Because I think these guys are 21s, if memory serves.
Yep.
Yeah, so disordered they are.
Good. It's time for us to push forward with the infantry and blow the crap out of you.
There you go. Do it. Do it. All right. Let's see. This next one is going to be 5. That's 8. And that's 10. All right, fine. Okay. All right. So we'll do the next one here. That will be this fella.
Okay.
And we will just attack that one by his lonesome self. And so same thing. This guy's going to roll his defender morale check. He's going to have to roll with a plus 10 because he's got somebody in his flank now.
But you're not in your zone of influence. Isn't in my flank.
Completely agree, but for your morale check, it doesn't matter whether it's facing
Oh,
you.
that's
It only
for
matters
the
for the
for the
actual
combat.
combat die roll.
Well, Eat
And in
that.
this case, it doesn't matter because you rolled
Yeah.
a 90. So
Yeah.
who cares? All right, very good. All right, so it is 5-5. So again, it's 1-1, just like the last one was. And it looks like I am 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minus 2 is 8. And you are 7?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's just 1-1 plus 1, I think.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right, 1-1 plus 1.
So
And that
that's going
becomes
to be a
3 at
3.
1-1,
It's
which I'm
probably going to
pretty
be a
sure is
push.
an MM. Yeah,
MM.
almost certainly. So I'll go ahead and roll first. Barely make it.
All right. And then do I roll?
Yep.
You got to roll next.
34.
When you
I
barely
make it.
make it. Okay.
Phew.
So now it gets a little bit worse for me because I don't get the benefit of my 3 hexes of advance. Now we just go to our printed value. So it just became 1-1 minus 2 at this point,
Okay.
which is not so attractive. But with my fancy die roll, you'll see it won't matter. Yeah, it will.
So
All
that's
right.
going to
So
be
that's
a
going to be a
minus
-1.
That's another MM, right?
Okay. All right. So the attacker will go ahead and roll. And then the defender will roll.
Okay.
Boy,
Here we go
hey, you're
again.
skating there. All right, and we'll go back for another 1-1 minus 2, and we'll see what we get. Uh-oh, bad
It's
news.
going to
Minus
be
5.
a -5. So that is
Yeah.
a 1R1D.
Believe that. Yep. So
Okay.
there's 1 for him, and need to flip the unit over. There he is, and then need to route him. And then we'll go, whoops. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All righty. So you need to advance and need to roll for disorder, or roll for pursuit points, rather.
Right. And you were in that hex, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep, I was.
All right.
And so we'll take.
And I'd
whatever you
only have
roll. You
one pursuit point, right?
only get 1, which is
Yeah.
not ideal.
No, but we'll take it.
Okay. Yep.
That way, then
All
you'll
right,
be
so
half
go-
dead.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. Now
Besides,
you'll
when
roll
else? When else are the Austrians going to do anything?
This is your one chance, right?
All right,
So,
and then I make a what do I make? A recall
you make-
roll.
You make a recall, and I think it's going to be at +10, +5 for being disordered, and +5 for having used a pursuit point. So +10.
Yeah, we don't
Oh.
care.
No problem. All right. So we'll go to our last one here. And this will be actually a little odd. So it's going to be 1 to 1.5 are going to be the odds because it's 8 to 12. And then if we just did this, then we'll see what we get. Of course, the defenders actually need to roll morale.
So you're
checks.
attacking both of them.
Well, I have to.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
All right.
I've run out of choices at this point. I have
All
to.
right. So you have to attack both of them. Okay. So then I have to
Right.
make 2
Both-
checks,
yeah,
right, for each of them.
Each of them need
Okay.
to. That's right.
So going left to right.
Okay, fair enough.
That's good.
Easy.
And that's good.
And even easier. All right. So now it's 1 to 1.5 before it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rules don't really specify, but the way we've solved this in the past is that instead of subtracting 2 from the attacker, we're just going to add 2 to the defender who's upslope.
Okay.
Because it kind of doesn't make sense that it would be -2 if only half of the defenders are upslope, right?
Well, why wouldn't it be -2?
Well,
I mean, you're still attacking up the slope, right?
I am, but I'm also attacking not up the slope.
Yeah.
You've got a guy who's not up the slope. You got a guy who's up the slope. Why would it influence the battle the same as if I was attacking purely up the slope?
Because you're
I don't know.
attacking both units. So I don't know why.
Yeah, but we've already accommodated that in the odds.
So I don't understand. What are you asking, or what are you suggesting? I mean, it's still going to be a -2 either way, right?
Well, except it really isn't. It's going to be a -1 because it's only going to influence one of your two stacks, not the other.
And it gets
I mean, we can go
averaged.
ahead and play it with -2 to the attacker. It doesn't kind of make much sense, but whatever, we can do it. So the attacker is a 6. Heavy cavalry makes it an 8. He actually moved 4 hexes, so that's 12.
12.
And then -2 for the slope is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, what I
And
think he
then
was trying to do is that it has the same effect of giving you +2, but it only goes +2 on one of your stacks.
exactly, yes,
But
And then you average your stacks.
oh, is
exactly.
that okay?
That was the intent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know
you've
the
got
rules
one.
well enough to know how it works when
Yeah,
you're
the rules
attacking
really
across
don't.
something like that.
The rules don't really address the idea of multi-hex combat when they're talking about it. They just say the attacker's -2 if he's attacking up a slope. It's like, well, okay, and that totally makes sense, and I get it. But what happens if the attack is also not up a slope? Is it still -2? And does that make any sense? And I don't know,
I think
maybe
it
not.
does make sense because I mean, if you were attacking across a sunken road and then a non-sunken road, wouldn't you? I mean, you're inconvenienced either way as the attacker.
Well, you would, except you're only inconvenienced on half of your attack. So it seems like the defender should get the benefit who's getting the terrain benefit, but the other defender wouldn't. Seems to me.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
So I've
But
got
nevertheless, so you've got 5 on one stack, 4 on the other, except really they're both it's 7 and 6, right? Which rounds to 7,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I've got 10, you've got 7. So it's
Well,
plus.
no, I've got more than that because I'm heavy cavalry also.
I already counted that. All right, let's go back. So you got printed value of 5 on the left hex,
Correct.
right? So 6, 7
Right.
for them.
And then
And
you said
then
I've got another 2 for.
no, because I already
Oh,
subtracted
okay.
2 off the
Okay.
attacker. So I just decided we're not even going to worry about that. So 7 on the left hex, 6 on the right hex,
Right.
which averages to 7.
Okay. Cool. And then you've
and
got.
I was up to 12, but then
Put you down.
-2 takes
So
me
you're
down
at
to
10.
10.
Okay.
So it's 1 to 1.5 plus 3 for the moment.
Okay. All right.
Thank goodness.
So that's going to be a 7.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a
On 1 to 1.5.
1D1R.
1D1R. Okay. Now I don't know. Are your guys the same size?
I can flip them over and
They're
see.
both 6s. They're both 6s. So either one of them can take the hit.
Okay. Doot, 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 doot. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I had them both. I had them both selected. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so then there must be
The
when you
same
press.
same keystroke means
Yep.
something different. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So then they both route. Is that correct?
Yes, they both route. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And where's the marker for that? There we go. Okay. All right. So we need to get them out through the. So I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do them both as separate routes, I guess, or separate movements.
Yeah,
Right.
they're routing separately.
So
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this guy is going to come back here, going through that
Right.
guy, and then this guy's just going to
Plus-
go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, you can't end
Well, I
in the
can't.
same
Well,
with the other
can't
one.
can't end in the same hex, but he could just skip over one to the other direction.
Okay, so he'll end up right there. So then I
So
guess
you're
we'll
gonna
have,
roll twice for this poor bastard.
of course, of course.
-10 to
So
each
here we
of them.
go. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good, and that's
I
good.
think you're all right. All right.
Okay.
Those guys have to be truly lousy for that to have been a problem. But congratulations to them for weathering the storm.
Yes.
I guess they
Okay.
were all just like really skinny, or turned
Yeah.
sideways or
Oh,
something. Yeah,
these are my elite troops.
and therefore skinny. Okay.
Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly.
yeah. All right. Very good. Okay. Well, I will roll for pursuit points here. 4. Okay, that's interesting. What would that look like?
Well, you would what? Move adjacent to the infantry, I guess.
Yeah, I'd have to move adjacent to the infantry, and then I would start my free movement. I could turn away. I could, but I've only got 2 points, right?
Right. Yeah,
Because it's
because you
half
are
because I'm disordered. So it's like I could run up and turn around.
right.
That doesn't sound very interesting. It's
No.
going to be bad enough. Um, so I don't get away. All right. Well, I'll stay right where I am then.
Interesting.
And then, yeah, because I don't have enough points to get away, right?
Right.
And it's at least this way you have to attack my front. Somehow it seems more dignified. I mean, I guess I could turn around and have my horses show their backs to you, but
Right. Because I can't attack you with the infantry, can I? You could
Sure you
retreat
can.
before combat.
I don't know if I can if I'm disordered. Probably can't.
Oh,
No, you've got a good shot at these guys. So let's just roll and see what happens with the recall. Okay, so they recall. All right, so there we go.
all right.
So that is that, and I think that's it for everything. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the
Flip all
leaders.
your people.
Yeah,
Get flipped.
get flipped. And Penavere himself right there. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay. And I think we are back to my role.
Back to you.
So we're 2 hours in.
Yep.
I haven't had any dinner yet.
Okay. Well, if this is
So this is
obviously a great
probably
time
a
to break.
good spot for us to save it and
Totally.
take a break until now next week I may or may not be able to join you gentlemen because
Okay.
it's my mother's 80 something birthday.
80 something. It's
80
a very
something.
wise man to not
That's-
remember
yeah,
exactly how old she
exactly.
is.
At
Well
least
done, you.
not at least not in on in public. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're either
man.
getting together for lunch or we're getting together for dinner, and I have to find
Yeah.
out what my siblings are organizing.
Absolutely.
So if it's a case where we are doing a dinnerish thing, I will be unable to
Yeah.
sling electrons at you guys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What'll we do?
Yeah, but
All
then the
right.
week after that is Easter, and I got nothing going on in the evening. So
All right.
if you
All
guys
right.
don't have
The
anything going
eggs will
on
have
for
all been
Easter,
found.
yeah, exactly.
No, I'm sure we don't. I'm sure we don't. So yeah, all right. Well, that sounds great. Before we adjourn, I've got one thing that I wanted to show.
Yes.
Is that readable to you guys, or do I need to do something to make it the other way around?
Give me a second.
Oh, I see. I can see that little thing. Yeah.
All right, let me bring up Discord. Oh yeah. Okay, I see it.
So this is an interesting book because it's literally this Englishman's journal as he marches around with the Austrian army for years
Okay.
during the 7 Years' War. and this obviously is volume one from Lobositz to Luthen,
Right.
and then the next one is what is it, Olmutz to Torgau, and
Okay.
I've just started reading it just a little bit. It's funny because at the bottom here it says translated by, but it is an Englishman, but I think they just mean they've modernized the language to make it easier to read.
Right.
It is hefty.
Oh
It
my
is
gosh, that is
like
very thick.
it is like almost 700 pages, but it's got like 200 charts and diagrams and tables. It is chock a block with information. So anyway, I just got this delivered from the UK the other day, and I can hardly wait to just get a little of my 7 years war geek on here.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah. Well,
that's what I got.
that sounds very cool. And then you've got